Welcome back to my channel, Drunk Crafts with Paige. I am Paige, and today I am actually drinking a pineapple cider, of all things. I know it's more summery than fall, but I like pineapple all year round. Now this week, we are going to continue playing around with alcohol ink, and I tried to do some research on this before we started, and I couldn't really find a whole lot on the subject, but we're going to be trying to make alcohol ink art within a stencil. So I have several vinyl stencils that we're going to be using, and we're going to try to put some alcohol ink in there and see what kind of art we can come up with. So if you would like to join me on this journey, then please stick around. I have already stuck down a couple of the vinyl shapes, but I figured I would show you guys the last two how I'm going about doing this. So this is just, it's actually like a vinyl countertop material, and I cut out my little shape from it. And if I had a Cricut, that probably would have been a little bit easier, but I did these by hand. I'm sure if you have a Cricut, it might turn out a little better. But I'm just gonna peel the backing off of these very carefully. And then I start from one side and stick it down and slowly press along, making sure that it is flat and even. And then the main concern is going around the edges of where our stencil is and making sure that's all flat and doesn't have any air bubbles, because our main focus is going to be the alcohol ink inside of it, and if you have any overlaps or bubbles, it's probably going to leak through onto the paper. But as I said in the beginning, I've never tried this before, so we're just gonna see how that works. And then my second one is a kitten shape. If I can find the edge of it. And if you hear her running around, we adopted a new kitten, and she is quite vocal. All right, very carefully peeling off the backing. Start from this corner and just kind of roll my hand along, making sure it's all nice and flat. And the nice thing with this Yupo paper is the stencil comes off pretty well. Like, it doesn't stick too terribly. Slowly rolling my hand along. There, making sure it's all flat. And then I'm going to pay attention real closely to the edges, smoothing them down. No air bubbles. All of our stencils are down, and I have paid attention smoothing out all of the edges, and we're going to try to put some alcohol ink in here now. So we're going to start with this one up here. I think I'm going to kind of speed through these because it's really not much different than any of the other alcohol ink stuff we've done before. We're just trying to keep it within this little stencil. So we got two different kinds of green down. Add our alcohol. And use the heat gun to move it around. let's try with just a little bit of blue. And I don't want to move the stencil until this is totally dry. So we're gonna move on to another one. Let's do, this one's a little kitten. Now I'm gonna wait until the alcohol ink on these is completely dry before I pull off the vinyl part. And then the nice thing about this Yupo paper is you can just take the alcohol, the rubbing alcohol to it, and we can clean up any of these edges where it did in fact kind of spill over the sides. But we will let them dry and come back to them in a bit. Our pieces have been sitting for just a little bit, so I'm going to try to carefully peel off the vinyl. I did one already and it looks really cool, so I am excited to peel off the other three. And here's the 4 pieces. All the vinyl has been taken off and they turned out really well. Here's our cat and our doggo. He had a little bit of a smudge on the paw while I was trying to take off the vinyl, but you can still tell he's a dog. And our kitten and our deer, which I was really unsure about because of the antlers, but they all turned out really well. So using the vinyl worked really well with the alcohol inks. So you can use the rest of this paper to do whatever you want to with it. We are outside, which means it is time to take an up-close look at our pieces done with alcohol ink and stencils, and we're gonna look at what I turned them into. Here's the bookmark we made with our deer stencil. And like I said before, I was a little concerned about how the antlers would turn out, but I think they look beautiful, and I just added some color at the top and the bottom to make a pretty simplistic but beautiful bookmark. And for some of our other pieces, like our kitten and our cat, I added paw prints from my own fur babies, and now I have some beautiful alcohol ink art for each of them, and I'm going to put them in picture frames and hang them up on my wall. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and even subscribe to the channel. I also have an Instagram and a Facebook page linked below if you would like to follow me on there, as well as my PayPal if you'd like to contribute to the channel. I'll see you guys all for the next video.